our guest on the Phillips Company morning show from the hit CW show Vampire Diaries and Boone from Lost, Ian Somerhalder. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Ian, we're never going to let go of Lost, but I guess that's a good thing for you.
Yeah, that's a great thing. I mean, it definitely changed my world and the world of, a lot of my friends who have been on that show, were on that show for a great number of years.
Yeah, it was your first big break. I read that you were the first one cast for that show.
First one cast and first one to die.
Yeah, but it was great that you came back in the final episode. Even with the success of Vampire Diaries, you still came back to Lost.
It was a really cool week. We were shooting the finale of Vampire Diaries the exact same time they were shooting the finale of Lost. So luckily the producers and studios and everyone figured it out, and I flew in the middle of shooting. I went to Hawaii in the middle of shooting the finale of Vampire Diaries, shot for literally left set, flew to Hawaii, landed, worked, got back on a plane, flew back to Atlanta, landed, went straight back to work. It was such a bizarre 48 hours of my life.
That's really cool that the producers let you do that.
Yeah.
It was really cool. I know it took a lot of moving and shaking, and I'm really grateful to all of them for making that happen because it was really cool, and it was such a phenomenal experience. One of the coolest human experiences I've ever had. I mean, it was a little hard to top. And it was also sort of really cool and sort of metaphorical that they were finishing these 6 years of storytelling, and I was just starting on a show, in the first year, and at least a show that I know that I can't get killed off of for at least a little while.
Exactly.
No one's safe. I thought Catherine's back in town. She can definitely kick Damon's butt.
Yeah.
Well, we want to talk about Vampire Diaries, but the only question I have for you with respect to Lost, do you ever have any reservation about stepping on an airplane? Because not only were you involved in the jet deal, but also the plane with all the cocaine in it and all that. I mean, do planes make you wiggy?
Not at all. I love flying, and to be honest with you, it's kind of, we live in the air anyway. So
sure.
I think in the last season, from the middle of July to the end of April, I went back and looked at all of my airline tickets. I took 58 flights in 10 months.
Do you take Xanax?
No, not at all.
Can you teach me how to not take Xanax and fly?
Well, we're usually pretty exhausted, so
right.
people on the plane. But, it's funny, though. When we were shooting Lost in the first season, when there were 2 or 3 or 4 of us on the plane, that's when people would get visibly freaked out. That was pretty interesting.
We're talking to Ian Somerhalder. He is the star of Vampire Diaries on the CW, 8 o'clock on Channel 11. My wife, Ian, is a huge fan of the show. Kind of got me sucked in, but your co-star, Nina Dobrev, holy cow. That's the reason guys need to watch.
Dude, that little Nina Dobrev is ridiculously hot. 350 or 400-year-old vampire who basically taught Damon everything he knows, and sort of breaking his heart created the part of the monster that he's actually become. But yeah, man, she kills it, and you see her shooting a scene in the morning as Elena, and then she steps out of her dressing room and she's Catherine. You're just sitting there, you're just thinking, whoa, that was quick.
I just read the article that featured you in Rolling Stone on the new fall season, and I thought it was really funny. You compared your character to a deer during mating season. Can you kind of
elucidate
that again?
Well, because, I'm a country boy from Louisiana, you figure a couple things out about life when you grow up hunting and fishing and what have you. And one of the interesting things that sort of made me think about Damon was, during the rutting season and the mating season, the big, very wary whitetail deer, the buck, when they're looking for a mate, they completely go blind with lust and rage and instinct, and they're completely oblivious to the world around them. And that's generally when they get shot, when they're not paying attention, when they're so blind with
desire,
instinct, and desire that it inexorably leads to their demise. And Damon, I think, possesses quite a bit of that. I think men in general possess a lot of that, but especially Damon. And I didn't even think that they were, I never thought they were going to use that quote. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, of course they do. It's always the ones you don't think. Well, we're talking again to Ian Somerhalder, The Vampire Diaries, on tonight, 8 o'clock on the CW, Channel 11. And congratulations, you knocked off a bunch of pretty heavy hitters to win Entertainment Weekly's Sexy Beast. Were you surprised?
I was. And then, it's the fans. They made that happen, and they're so great. And we wouldn't couldn't have this show without him, and I love him.
I heard everybody on set is calling you Sexy Beast now.
I know. I just kind of walk around and growl at people.
Well, congratulations on a new season.
Wait, I got one last question.
We're done.
He was the face of Guess jeans.
I know, I saw that.
Okay, so do you still wear them?
You know, I haven't worn a pair of Guess jeans in a long time.
Since the 90s, probably.
I just wanted to know. I got Guess jeans in the closet. Is it okay for me to?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Thanks, Ian.
Ian Somerhalder, good luck with the new season of Vampire Diaries. It's on tonight again on Channel 11 at 8 o'clock. Thanks so much for being a guest.
Hey, guys, thanks for having me. Have a great day.